Hello? Hello? Am I live streaming correctly? I forget how to do this sometimes. I think it's working. We'll see. I'll give it a second for people to show up. I had to send out my links as usual. Okay, I think it's working. But I'll let people show up first because there's not many people here. I don't know. Let's see who is here. Toku Punk Productions, yo. Austin Murphy, Love and Peace, Defective Stupe, Hayden Adams, hello Rigby Sama. So as you can see from the title and the thumbnail, it's the 5th anniversary of Ex-Aid. It's been 5 years, and that's so cool. I really wanted to do a video, and I will be doing a video, but I guess I do have to explain myself because a few things have gone in the way of things. So you may have noticed that there's no first episode review of Kamen Rider Revice up on the channel, and that's because I did do a review and I uploaded it, but then for some reason Toei doesn't like Revice this year. I mean, I don't like Revice, that's a joke, I like Revice. But they like claimed one of my live streams a while back, and then it kind of happened with the video. They copyright striked it and put a strike on the channel, and the video got taken down, which has happened before. I've had it happen on a couple of videos, but they're always like fan edits, and they were always like unlisted. This happened like a day after it was uploaded on YouTube, so it was like super weird. But I was like, okay, so I just like took out the part they claimed and I re-uploaded it, and I'm like, whatever. And then they struck that one down in like an hour after that. So then I had 2 strikes, and if you get 3 strikes on YouTube, you lose your channel. So I was just like, I have no idea what I have to do, what I'm gonna do. So I just kind of, it was just like a weird thing where then I just kind of took a step back from YouTube, went on like a little minication, didn't really work on anything, and I was just kind of lost. I'm like, I don't know what to do, because I want to do videos. I love uploading videos, talking about the videos, even if I don't get, like, they could have demonetized it and it would have been fine. I'd be like, okay, whatever. But the fact that they took it down and put a strike on the channel is the real issue, because then I just lose the ability to upload anything at all, money aside. So it was like, yeah, so that's why I haven't done anything in September, because it was just a combination of like lack of motivation. Like, it was kind of like I could upload a video and then they get rid of everything, and then just, yeah, the strikes. So yeah, it was just, that's on me. I didn't really communicate with anyone on Twitter and Discord. I was kind of talking about it, but if you don't follow me on Twitter or you're not on my Discord, then yeah, you probably were kind of in the dark, and I apologize for that. That's my fault. But so that's why there's also no like full review for Ex-Aid today on the anniversary, which I would have loved to have that, but I'm also kind of tight on like time because of personal things too, so that's making videos isn't as easy. But yeah, so for now, someone did ask if I got the strikes. I still have the strikes. However, I'm currently like in the process of trying to get rid of one of them, and if I can get rid of that one, that would bring the Revice video back, and then theoretically my next videos won't get striked, because I'll just try to be more careful and not talk about Kamen Rider Revice until the final episode. So maybe they just don't like Revice videos, which is fine, I guess. So if that should be, hopefully it would be removed like in the next couple of days, and if that happens, then the Revice video will be back. You can go watch that, and then my Saber potential video I'm almost done with, and then you can go watch that. And then from there, I'm actually going to be kind of focusing exclusively on Ex-Aid to make up for missing the anniversary with a video. I'll be doing the normal review. It might be split up into parts depending how long I want to talk about Ex-Aid, and then the Rider potential video, and then I've actually got a few other things planned, which I don't really want to spoil. But they will involve some stuff regarding actually, they will mostly regard like the toy line, and some of it is like the not show stuff, I guess, to give a little hint. So if you want to see all of that as soon as possible, or you just want to straight up ask me what are those videos, because I will tell you on Patreon, just $2, and you can watch all those videos early. You get the audio edition as soon as I'm done recording them, and then you can also just ask me what are those videos, because I do give frequent updates. So yeah, so now let's move away from the doom and gloom and talk about, or actually, yeah, so even though this is like I'm marketing this as like the Ex-Aid 5-year anniversary live stream, because I do have all those videos, I'm not going to actually talk about Ex-Aid for very long, or the whole stream today, because I do want to talk about like the scans and stuff like I usually do, and they do kind of have to do with Ex-Aid, so it's kind of alright. So how long I've been going for like a little under 10 minutes, so I'll probably only talk about Ex-Aid just a little bit more stuff I don't think I'd talk about in the review. So this is more of like a, guys, I will be talking more about Ex-Aid. This is just an announcement. I'm going to be talking about Ex-Aid. So let's get stuff on the screen. Look at that stuff on the screen. My setup is a little different from what I'm used to, so I'm kind of like dying. I'm just kidding. So this is like the coolest shot in Ex-Aid in my opinion, because they set this up in episode 1. We saw this in the first episode, and then 45 episodes later, nearly a whole year later, they gave us like the whole scene as the final battle. So that is so cool. That's one of my favorite parts of Ex-Aid. I guess to talk about how I started watching it. So I had been into Kamen Rider by the time Ex-Aid was starting to get around, but the thing is, I had never watched a whole show, so I didn't like Drive is what got me into it per se, because like Drive reviews and Drive clips, I was like, whoa, this is really cool. And then Ghost was kind of just there. Not to say I hate Ghost, because I haven't seen Ghost, but I mean, I did really like the suits. I didn't really see a lot of clips though, but I watched like all the toy reviews about the toys. What else would they be about? But Ex-Aid was like the first time I was part of like the rumor mill, so I saw I remember being like in an airport seeing the first level 1 leak, or sorry, not the level 1 leak, like the level 2 leak. Like there was like a drawing, and then there was like a picture of a vinyl of Ex-Aid, and then I remember like a week later seeing all the magazines, or like the toy scans. I looked at those for like a month straight. Like I couldn't get my eyes off of those. Just something about the clear video game stuff, and I loved video games. I was like, wow, this is so cool. So then the show came out, and I still didn't know where to watch Kamen Rider, but there was some YouTube channel that uploaded a whole like the fight scene, like the main fight scene of episode 1. I don't remember if it was subtitled or not, but I watched that and I was like, this is so cool. I'd watched that for like I vividly remember watching that episode and then not just thinking about it for like the rest of the day. Like I couldn't get it off my mind. It was so cool. And then the next week episode 2 came out, and someone uploaded, the same channel I think uploaded the episode 2 fight scene with Brave. It might have been like all the fight scenes, I don't remember, because there were like multiple fight scenes in that episode. But then same thing happened with 3. I don't know if it happened with 4, but then at some point I discovered there was some channel that was uploading entire episodes with subtitles. So because of that channel, I managed to make Ex-Aid my first Rider season. I watched live as it was airing, because I watched I think I watched up to episode 18 before the channel, like I couldn't find the channel because it kept getting like strikes and then like re-uploading, because in that case they were uploading entire episodes, which is technically illegal. In my case, I was uploading clips edited with no sound, and Toei still copyright striking me, but that's besides the point. So then I found another place, and I found another place that was more reliable that I will not talk about, because Google. Just use Google if you want to know where to watch the shows. But then I did that, and then watched all the way up to episode 45, and then that actually let me start watching Q Ranger as my first Sentai series as well. So that was great. So then from there, yeah, it just kind of spiraled, and now here we are 5 years later, and now I make YouTube videos about Ex-Aid. So that's really cool. If you told me when I watched that first episode fight scene on YouTube that I would be taking a character from Ex-Aid, recoloring it as my avatar, and then talking about it online, I probably would have called you crazy. So I think that's a really fun retrospective. So Ex-Aid is definitely, like, it's not really the show. It's like, because as I said, Drive is what got me into like Kamen Rider, technically, from like the visuals, but also from the visuals, Ex-Aid is like the first show that I watched, and the one that really got me into Kamen Rider. So because obviously bought in the process of purchasing all the gas shots. I'm on a mission right now to buy all the gas shots, and I think I'm like 60% there. I have a lot. If you follow me on Twitter, you can see where I'm going to, or where I'm at right now. So yeah, Ex-Aid. Thanks, Ex-Aid. I guess some other like random things, I guess, from Ex-Aid. Like the suits. Obviously, the suits are very cool. I love the. Will I make a video showcasing all of my Ex-Aid merch collection? That is part of one of my plans to celebrate the anniversary. So yes, I can say that. I will. You will be able to see it on YouTube. Don't worry. So actually, I'm curious if anyone in the chat, have you seen Ex-Aid? I've seen on Twitter, people are saying that like a lot of people apparently, Ex-Aid was their first show as well, or at least their first one they watched live, like it was for me. I don't know if it was their first Rider season ever, but or like what they saw first. I don't know. It's weird, but I am curious if anyone is like that in the chat. Do I have any of the Legend Rider gadgets? So physically, I have all of the retail ones except Wizard, I think, but I have Wizard in a warehouse somewhere. So I do own Wizard. I just don't have it yet. So I do own all of the retail Legend Rider gadgets. And then so all I need are the 10 Heisei 1 gadgets in the big set, and that's actually going to be one of the last things I probably get for Ex-Aid's anniversary, or not the anniversary, for my Ex-Aid collection, because it's just a huge box and I'm really scared to ship that out. So I don't I'm just kind of waiting with it. So and in the Bandai Namco gadgets, I think I have all of them except Taiko no Tatsujin. So I'm getting there. I'm very close. Or, I'm not very close, but I am making progress with my Gashat wall. The only problem is I don't have any Gashikon weapons, so I actually can't get any criticals finish sounds. So, oh, this is a great question. Have I played the Ex-Aid Flash Belt games on DeviantArt? That is, I would argue, a huge thing that helped with like my experience watching Ex-Aid, because yeah, I found those belts I might have found like the Gaim ones before Ex-Aid, but I played that Ex-Aid one every single day when it was airing. Like, I'm not even joking. I went to that website every single day while the show was airing, and I messed with the belts, and that's probably a huge reason of why I love Gashets so much. Just kind of having, I mean, I think they're really cool on their own, but it's also kind of like, but every time I get one, it's like the self-fulfillment of having a thing that I've played with on a digital game for like years and watched reviews of it for years. So it is kind of like, I mean, it's kind of like nostalgia, I guess. Arguably, a huge reason of why I like Ex-Aid is the nostalgia. But I do legitimately love like so many aspects of the season. Like, I think it handles the multiple riders very well. I can't really remember much of Gaim, and I haven't seen a lot of the other multiple rider shows, but at least from Ex-Aid, just like Ex-Aid, Brave, and Snipe have this like really interesting duality where Ex-Aid has his doctor side and then his genius gamer side, and then Brave is kind of just his doctor side, and then Snipe is like just his genius gamer side. So there's like this kind of parallel between the three of them, and then you have Laser and Genmu are kind of doing their own thing, but they kind of like are a parallel as well. They're both liars, I guess. And then Laser obviously is Ex-Aid's rider machine, and Genmu is his copy paste. So they do like they all kind of intersect very well, and then the other riders as well. Paradox is spoilers, and then Poppy's Poppy. I guess Poppy doesn't really intersect, but that's fine because she's Poppy. Oh yeah, and Ex-Aid Abridged. Yeah, I watched Ex-Aid Abridged when that happened during Ex-Aid, and that's that's another nostalgic part of why I like Ex-Aid. I watched the Abridged. I like the Abridged. And then the suits, or like not just these suits, but like the aesthetics of Ex-Aid are, at least before Saber, I don't know, I might like Den-O overall more, but I just love the video game aesthetics, how they like partly the suits. I mean, like the suits all look great in my opinion, but like the as you can see on the screen, like the critical strikes, how basically every finisher is like in your face announcing the critical strike. That is so cool to me. I love that thing. I loved when Saber did it a little bit and then they stopped, and that was really sad. But Ex-Aid does it pretty much all the way to the end. Like there are a few there's just like 5 or something finishers that don't get the announcement, but like in the finale they all get the announcement, and it's so good and I love it. But then if we go back to the suits, obviously it has my favorite suit in Kamen Rider, because it's me, and it's gold me. I'm not Red Muteki. That is gold thomasjujube. That's a joke. I am Red Muteki, but I just really like the suit. I don't know what else to say. Just like even the first catalog scans, I actually didn't like it. I was like, that looks, I mean, I didn't hate it, but I was just like, oh, okay, it looks weird. And then even like the first fight, it was just all right to me, like visually, but like the second episode fight scene with Muteki is like, it looks so good. I don't know if it's like the sunlight, the angles they're doing, it looks fantastic. So it's my favorite suit in the show, obviously, and also just in all of Rider. It's so good. I just think the show is so good. Like the gamer doctor aspect is like so strange if you think about it. Like going into it, I was like, I don't know, it's weird. Like I don't know who would mix the two, but then the show does such a good job at making it matter. Like explaining it. I mean, where the thing that really sticks out to me is Kuroto, and when Kuroto is revived, and he's like, oh, it's okay if people die, I can just revive them. And then Ex-Aid Emu straight up says, like, the thing that makes life important is you can't continue it after you die, like a video game. And I'm like, oh, that's why they're doctors in games. I mean, I think they probably explained that much clearer earlier on, but like that was kind of like the line. That's the line that like defines Ex-Aid for me. Just why I love it. Why I think the doctor game aspect works so well. It's just super cool, and I think it's also cool that the video game stuff isn't really like tied into the doctor thing that well. Like you could logically take all of these suits and make it just about video games. So I think the fact that it ties them into each other on like a purely abstract, like metaphorical level makes it like that much cooler. It's not just like a bunch of video game characters wearing lab coat or doctor's coats, which kind of would have been funny actually. I wish we had something like that. The one thing I will say, actually, looking at this picture, is I am sad we didn't get a Muteki uh weapon. Like he didn't get his own exclusive weapon. Just because it's the Gashikon Key Slasher. I like it as a level as the level Mighty Brothers form weapon, but like with the um with Maxima Mighty it kind of fits, I guess, but with Muteki it doesn't really fit. I don't really. I mean, he has the colors on his suit, so it kind of works there, but I just wish they didn't. They gave him a new weapon. They made him. Uh, I've always had this idea called like the Gashikon Shiner or something, and it's kind of you make it kind of like the Key Slasher, but you give it modes for all the other Gashikons. So like a gun mode, a sword mode with different modes. The gun mode has 2 different modes. Then there's a hammer mode, and then you could make it into a bow and arrow form. I would probably be too much to split it up like the Kyria weapon, the Sparrow. But then the main thing too is that like I would have the finisher use the Muteki Gashat, so it has the docking port, so it makes like the docking sound when you attach it, and then it does the critical shine or whatever, but it only works with the Muteki Gashat. You can't use any of the other Gashats to create a finisher. That's like my biggest gripe with the show. I'm just kidding. I think it kind of gets a little dragged down at the end of the show. I feel like I don't want to go into depth because again I have my review, but I feel like at episode 40 they had a pretty clear path they could have gone down, which is we fight Game Deus, but instead they didn't do that. They kind of did a weird thing. So yeah, I don't know. That being said, I love Game Deus Cronus. Like this suit, that is a top tier suit. That's actually my second favorite suit in the show, I think. It looks really good. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's red and gold, so it's like it's really cool. And I think that should have been the final boss. Like, I know it's a repaint, but that would have thematically worked so much better as the final boss instead of making it in like 2 episodes and then Cronus is the final boss again. So, Megadong says they're my 3rd biggest fan. I appreciate it. I am curious who's the 1st and 2nd biggest fans though. If you're the 3rd. Because I don't know who the 1st and 2nd are. So, let's get another picture of Muteki. Oh, yeah, true ending. So one other thing I really like about Ex-Aid is how many specials it has. I think it has... No, I think Den-O has more. Actually, I don't know. I need someone to check. I think it either has more than Den-O or is like tied with Den-O or something like that. But I love the specials. Or some of them. Some of them are like really cool. Like the 2 crossovers, Heisei Generations and then Heisei Generations Final, because it has Muteki in it. Those are both very, very good crossover movies. Probably my 2 favorite Rider crossover movies. They're super good, especially Final because it has Muteki. I'd actually say Final's like my favorite Rider movie ever, I think. But I don't know. I don't really think about that often, so I don't really know what I'd say is my favorite Rider movie. But I feel like I want to say that one. And then the other specials, like the Genmu special, I think is really great to show off the Legend Rider Gashats and the Bandai Namco Gashats. But it's... No, but I mean, I like it. It does that, and I think it also does like a really fun job at tying into the show because it's the first time we see Kuroto's lab when he's not in Genmu Corp. I think that's really awesome. The other specials are kind of fine. The Brave special doesn't do anything wrong, except for some reason it's like bullying Emu. The Laser special is just a hyper battle DVD, and it's fun. Cho Superhero Tyson is not good. That's all I'll say on that. There's like so many weird things in that movie. It's just, yeah, someone mentioned it, and it's not. It is not even as a crossover movie. Like, it's like the crossovers never really entirely make sense, but to me it doesn't make sense, not entirely because of the the crossover aspects, but because of like the I don't know, the logic of the movie is like really weird outside of the crossover. But then the sequel is Go Rider, which is amazing. I love Go Rider, but it's actually really weird that it doesn't tie into Superhero Tyson at all, other than the Go Rider cards. So it's like a weird thing where this is a really cool special, but the fact it is Go Rider makes it kind of worse. It's like, what is the point of making this a Go Rider special? I don't know. It's like kind of weird. I think that was a good point to mention that at this point I have rewatched all of Ex-Aid because I was hoping to do the review today, the video review, but that didn't happen. But yeah, this is like Ex-Aid's very fresh in my mind now, so this isn't like, oh, I forgot what happened. No, I have my notes. I do pretty clearly remember stuff in Ex-Aid now, which I love. It made me enjoy the show more. It's still my favorite Rider show. And then what? The other specials. So the other specials are kind of weird. Episode 0 Snipe is like on its own like a decent thing, but then when you look at it in reference to the show, it like the continuity is so weird because clearly they made it with the intent to be like the intro sequence for Snipe 0 uses the intro from the show during like after Mighty Brothers debuted and before Kamen Rider Chronicle happened. So it's meant to take place like in this early chunk of the show, but then they retconned it to take place in another ending, Genmu versus Laser, which is really funny. Oh no, I hit the microphone, but I don't know, that's really weird. And then True Ending's like an okay movie. It does some weird things with Game Dias that I don't understand. I still don't understand. And then actually the another ending specials are fine. I have a review out for those. I've had a review out for a while actually, but I remember I said I like didn't really like them at all, and I still don't like Brave and Snipe, but I actually like the last two a lot now. I think they're pretty good. So yeah. And then what? Oh, the other Paradox and Emu is like a fun hyper battle. That's it. And then like the other thing, the stage show ending is like really good. It's like amazing. Like I think that should have been True Ending. It's so good, and it has no right to be as good as it is because it's a stage show, but it's amazing. And I'm really disappointed it's just a blurry stage show because it's like really good. But and then the last thing is the President special, but we don't really need to talk about that because that's not good. So that's my quickie review of Kamen Rider the Ex-Aid. So I guess I'll move on to the news in a second. What do we have to talk about today? We've got, oh yeah, first we got Saber, because we got some brief Saber news, and I talked about that Saber news last month, so I do kind of want to, last month is in August, so I do kind of want to talk about that very briefly, because I went on about Ex-Aid longer than I intended to. And then we've got Revice, very brief things about Trigger, and then we have Zenkaiger, and hopefully I'll wrap up before the shows actually air in Japan and we get more news tonight. So that's really fun. Actually, speaking of tonight, one other thing I wanted to mention about Ex-Aid before I forget is Bang Bang Tank. I'm really hoping. So, if you didn't know, Bang Bang Tank was the Gashat Snipe used in the episode 0. But they never released it. They made a show, or it was used in the it was used in that special only as a finisher. So there's no form attached to it, which would have been fine if they released a toy for it, but they didn't release a toy for it for some reason. So, and it's like, it seemed very clearly meant to be like Snipe's level 4 Gashat, because we had Ex-Aid with Juju Burger, and in Brave in his special he got level 4 Night of Safari, and the Snipe 0 was kind of announced around the same time, again because the intro sequence is from that middle half of the show. So it was pretty. It seemed like it was meant to be his level 4, but then they never did anything with it in the special other than the finisher. They didn't release it toy for it, and then now the special takes place in another ending, Genom versus Laser. So, I'm hoping, or so then this year, what Bandai's been doing, like out of the blue, is they're releasing like items they never released originally. So earlier this year, they finally released Yujo Burst after they didn't release it for the Spectre V Cinema. So kind of a similar situation where the third rider didn't get his thing for some reason. And then they released the Nadeshiko driver because they didn't release that either. And this was like the 10-year anniversary. I think it was for the 10-year anniversary of Forze or the 10-year anniversary of the movie Nadeshiko appeared in, but something like that. And then a couple days ago, they announced some more progress keys that never had like a DX version. They were released in like a candy toy thing, but not DX. So it's the 5th anniversary of Ex-Aid now. So guys, just release Bang Bang Tank. Come on, it's that simple. Just release it. People will buy it. That's I don't know how much to convince them. I'll buy it. I'll buy one. Maybe I'll buy 2 just for the hell of it. But I really hope they release it. I'll be very sad if they don't release it. Like they'll really release 3 progress keys they already made, but not Bang Bang Tank, and finish off the on-screen Gashat Ex-Aid collection. So, anyways, I have one last image here about Ex-Aid that I forgot to show off. Hi, Majin. Anyways, so Kamen Rider Saber. So last month I talked about the V Cinema that got announced. I talked a long time about that. So if you want to go hear me talk about the V Cinema in more depth, just go watch that video. But I did just want to bring up the 2 new forms and talk about the 2 new forms. They look fine. it's the 2 new forms. Espada's is his Arabiana Knights, I think is how you pronounce it. And he's very clearly a primitive dragon repaint. Everything's just primitive dragon. Except the head, which is obviously brand new. And the book, of course. But the book is a primitive remold. So I mean, I like it. It works for Espada. It fits Espada. The new sword looks good too, I guess. And then the new head. The one thing I think is interesting is the new head. His visor is like more simplistic. On his base form, there's like lightning effects in the front, and then the back kind of is more thin and it's like green. And on this, it's just like a yellow disc, a hollow yellow disc. I don't know. I mean, it works fine. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. I noticed that. And then we finally have confirmation what the Amazing Siren book is going to do. And if you go watch that old live stream, I said in the live stream, they are not going to give Amazing Siren to Falchion because it's a premium Bandai sword. And they're not going to make the premium Bandai sword like relevant. And then they did that. And it doesn't look good. I don't really like the form. I mean the form itself I guess looks fine. It's just Falchion's equipment like stands out so much from it. And then they still have the red straps on the Hisatsu holders, so it just looks really, the colors kind of like in his waist are like so clunky. Hisatsu holders aside, because that's just been a problem since the show, since they gave it to Caliber and Falchion. They could have just made his visor orange. I don't understand the point of changing his visor to a different color. They could have just made that orange, so that stands out a lot more, and then it matches the belt and the sword. And yeah, so and we also have confirmation that Falchion and this Amazing Siren Falchion are Rintaro's dad, but it's a dude that says he's Rintaro's dad. It could possibly not be Rintaro's dad. It's just like Yes, I am definitely Rintaro's dad, but I guess for now we just have to believe him. He says he's Rintaro's dad. And then also in the movie, they announced some more cast, and we have Kento's girlfriend, or I think it's his fiance. I don't remember if it's a girlfriend or fiance. She's gonna be a character in the movie, and it's Wakana from Double. And then one other. Oh yeah, Toma's raising a kid. That's it. Like he adopted a kid. Um. Oh, okay. Just asking with this new Falcon form, am I gonna get Kyomu, and do I have Kaiji and Noroshi? So I haven't ordered this set for the V Cinema. If I do, I'm not gonna get the Kyomu. I don't care about the Kyomu enough, especially for this form. I'll just have Amazing Siren as like a separate book. I don't have Kaiji and Noroshi yet. I do need them because then I will have all 10 swords, and I really want the Kaiji's really cool, and the Noroshi has sentimental value. So I definitely need those. I don't have them yet. I mean, honestly, you guys will know when I get those swords because I will do a video unboxing those swords to finish off my whole Saber unboxing series. So when I get those, you'll know when I get those. Don't worry. So people are saying that like the Siren went to Falcon for money, but where's the monetary gain in this? Because they're not selling the Kyomu at all. So it's like they're not making money from it. No one's like if they announced they're selling the Kyomu again on Premium Bandai, then yes, people would be like, "Oh, I bought the set. I don't have Kyomu. I might as well buy Kyomu now so I can use it in the set." But they're not doing that. There's no more Kyomus in production. So there's no money they're making from this. It's just there. You have to go track one down if you didn't have one from like a third-party buyer. Bandai isn't selling it anymore. So they're not making money from it. That's why I'm confused. It's like nothing is happening. They're not, I don't know. It's weird. But it is kind of cool for the novelty to have a what is essentially a movie rider, like a summer movie rider, I guess. They've been relevant and they have extreme plot relevance in the show, and now they're both a villain for a new movie. They get a power up in that movie, so that's really cool. Just in terms of like rider standards, like you never see a movie writer get relevant like this, so that's cool. Good for Falcon, I guess. And all three of his users. I'm gonna take a drink of water, so hold on a second. There was a question, do I plan on getting anything from Revice? As of now, no. I don't really. Just because I bought so much Saber stuff, there's still Zenkaiger stuff I want. I'm trying to go all in on Ex-Aid now that I'm done with Saber stuff, except the Noroshi and Kaiji, which I still need. Revice just doesn't interest me that much to take my money in any aspect. So, like the Ex-Aid stamp, I would have maybe bought on its own, but it's sold with the holder, so it's just I don't want the holder. So like if I see it on its own at some point, maybe I'll buy it, but I can't even activate the sounds in it because it's like infrared, so it's kind of pointless to me without the belt, and I don't really want the belt, so it's just, yeah, I'm not gonna really be buying any Revice stuff. If I do, I guess you'll find out in the video, but for now, nah. So speaking of Revice, oh shoot, okay, hold on, I need to clean this up. There's a bit of news for Revice, so which includes Ex-Aid on the Ex-Aid anniversary, so that's fun. Buy more Majin merch. See, when I said I need Zenkaiger stuff, that's what I was referring to. So moving on from Saber to Revice, sadly, we have there's a big thing in the news, which is Revice's next rider, which is debuting tonight. But before that, we have some forms. So first off, we are getting oh yeah, I forgot to mention all the stuff I'm talking about is in the description, except the Saber stuff. I don't know if I put that in there, but the Zenkaiger Saber, sorry, not Saber, the Zenkaiger Revice and Trigger stuff is all in the description. But oh my, something fell. Anyways, so Revice's next form that we're getting this next episode is the Lion Genome, and it looks fine. It's just the same as like all the other Revice forms, where it's like, because they're all the same color, it really doesn't feel like they changed anything. I mean, it like, I'm just not a fan of how the colors don't change. It feels really empty every time he changes forms, because it's just like he gets some new armor and that's it. I don't know. That's just me. I do think the form looks nice. Like, I don't really have, and just like all the other Revice forms, at least for Revi, it's always like, I don't think there's anything entirely wrong with the form for now. It's like, I don't know. It looks like Kuga, but he's a lion for some reason, I guess. I don't know. I think Vice looks pretty good, actually, in this form. I don't know why, but it works a lot better than some of the others. Is my Zenkaiger review, after it ends, going to be mostly 4 hours of me talking about my wife, Majin? Yes. Next form we got is Punching Kong. Sorry, I mean Kong Genome, which is, it's the same thing I've been saying. It's Revi in the same colors. He's just got some different armor, but it actually looks pretty good. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. He looks like Forze, and there you go. He's got big arms. I do like in the top left corner, you can see they're doing the Uchukita pose, and actually, I think this is Vice's best form outside of the Rex form. I think this is the best, because he looks really, I don't know, he's just so wide now. He's got big hands, big feet, big chest even, or big back, I guess, big head. He looks nuts, and I think he looks pretty good. So this is actually the first Vice form I think that I've really liked since the first the base form. So good for him. So next up is the bane of my existence. Okay, so I actually feel kind of disrespectful talking about this thing on Ex-Aid's anniversary. So let's start off with just Revi. What? So this is the Jackal Genome, which is obviously based on Kamen Rider Ex-Aid. Obviously, in the sense of, no, not really obviously, because all the other genomes, at least, pretty clearly look like the rider they're based on. And in this case, I don't really, like, I see where they're being inspired by Ex-Aid, but for some reason, it's, like, so drastically different from Ex-Aid. Like, for starters, the hair, it's just 2 jackal ears, and he's got a little tuft of the Ex-Aid hair, but it's not like the big Ex-Aid hair that is the staple of the suit. It's just 2 big ears and then a little tuft of hair, and that doesn't, I don't like that. It doesn't fit for me. It doesn't look good. Then the eyes, it's not the Ex-Aid eyes. It's just normal Kamen Rider eyes, and it's like they've got, I do appreciate they got the idea of the goggles all the Ex-Aid riders have, in Ex-Aid himself, obviously, they wear, and it has like kind of the same idea of like the chin, like this little, I don't know how to describe it, but you know, that looks like Ex-Aid's thing. But they don't have the googly eyes. That's like, as I was talking about, like, that's so cool with the Ex-Aid aesthetics, that makes it look so different. It totally ties into the video game theme, and here it's just, it's just, they're just normal Kamen Rider eyes. So okay. And then I do like, even the back, I do love that they included the level 1 head on the back, like all the normal level 2 Ex-Aid riders have their level 1s on the back. They put it on this, and if you look closely, like for some reason they have like eyes painted onto it, which is like really cursed, but that's let's ignore that. But then even like, okay, I was gonna actually complain about the hair being the same thing. It's like tiny, but they didn't actually put like the bunny ears or the jackal ears. See, if it was like a bunny, I would kind of be okay with it because I like bunnies. So like it has big bunny ears. He could have made it a bunny, and maybe I would have actually, this would have been my favorite form, but it's a jackal and it's weird. So yeah, I mean, I guess I appreciate the level 1 head on the back. I hope the remix is actually just them going into level 1. Revi goes into a big chunky version of himself with the level 1 head. I think that would be actually really a really cool tribute, but I don't think they're gonna do that because the rest of the suit is in a really cool tribute. Because then you move on to the Vice, and for some reason he's a skateboard. Why is he a skateboard? I know I've seen a lot of people say, and I know a lot of you are about to tell me this. It's thomasjujube. Clearly, he's a skateboard as a reference to Shakariki Sports from Kamen Rider Ex-Aid. You should know this. Kamen Rider Ex-Aid. So, why is it a skateboard instead of a bicycle? The Shakariki Sports Gamer, or the Sports Gamer as it's officially called, is a bicycle. It's just a bicycle. Why would they make it a skateboard here? Like clearly they're not trying to like make it realistic, because that is a real skateboard. That's not Vice like on his back. It's just a real skateboard. They could have turned him into a bicycle, and then you have the random Shakariki Sports reference. Also, why are we referencing Shakariki Sports too? Like, I get it's the first Gashat, but when people think of Ex-Aid, they don't think of, I don't think most of them think of Shakariki Sports. And I saw a few people were trying to tell me it's referencing Tony Hawk's video game. Like, what? Why is this referencing Tony Hawk? I don't like this form. This is kind of just like the why I don't. No, I mean, it's just, man, I don't know. I can't explain a single part of this suit. It just confuses me. Here's another shot of it because it gets to be special apparently. Because it gets its own weapon. I don't know what this is called, but this I actually do like. I'm not gonna lie, I like this. The hammer on its own is very clearly a reference to the Gashikon Breaker having its hammer mode, and I think that's cool. I like it. It looks cool like that. It does some things with the stamps, but then it can also combine with the gun axe, and it creates just a big sword axe thing. But they even, as people point out, it kind of looks like the Gashikon Key Slasher, which also had a big axe piece in the front, and then it had a sword piece, obviously, and it was also part gun. So this is literally the Gashikon Key Slasher, I guess. Gun, sword, axe, all in one. So I actually do really love this weapon. Both as a thing in Revice, it looks really cool, but as an Ex-Aid reference, it's also really cool. And honestly, I might buy the hammer and the axe like at some point after Revice ends, because they'll probably be cheaper. And I don't know, I wouldn't mind having this weird Ex-Aid reference weapon that is also just kind of a legitimately cool weapon. So good job, Revice Ex-Aid Genome. You did something right. Other than that, very disappointing. I don't really like it. So that's it for not all the scans, just for like Revi and Vice. Curious what everyone thinks of the new forms. Except Ex-Aid, it's all just kind of the same for me. It's like, it's the Kamen Rider in Revice colors, I guess, with a weird animal thrown into it. There you go. Still collecting swords? Yes, I just need the last two. So here we go. I just realized I was referencing the the other sword, the new sword, not the Seikens from Saber. Anyways, speaking of Saber, it's a Saber knockoff, kind of. I'll explain in a second. So this is our new Kamen Rider who's debuting tonight, Kamen Rider Evil, I think his name is. I kind of forget sometimes because his name is just a normal word in the English dictionary, evil. That's really weird to me. But yeah, it looks cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's a good. I'm not gonna say it's a good suit. It's a good. Yeah, it's a good suit. It looks cool. As it looks like a evil Kamen Rider, so I guess it's fitting that looks like evil, or it's called Kamen Rider Evil. I don't know. I'm just confused right now. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. So he uses the two-side driver to become Kamen Rider Evil, and they don't really show off how it works in these pictures. I think there's another picture. Let me see. Yeah, they don't really show it off, but essentially, there's like the weapon he's holding is part of the driver. So he takes his stamp, he puts it into the driver, and then I think I'm not sure if he pulls out the piece or something and it turns into a sword, or if that's just a separate thing and the transformation is with the stamp exclusively in the belt. But either way, it's a Saber knockoff. That's just what the sword driver does. But when the sword driver does it, it's really cool because the book opens up and now you can see the picture of the form attachment inside. You can add more. The sword is just a sword on its own. In this case, the belt looks so plain. Like it's just this sticker piece on the teal thing, and that's it. That's all the belt is. And then the weapon looks like a vacuum cleaner with a stamp attached to it. So the belt is weird. I am interested though how it will work with Kamen Rider Live or Live, because if you didn't know, Evil, there were rumors a while ago for Kamen Rider Evil, and Evil would have a partner named Kamen Rider Live, like Revice and Vice. Evil and Live are reverses of each other, the same letters, just change the ordering. So Liv is presumably going to use the same belt, and you can actually see on the sticker on the belt, there's two halves. One of them is Evil, or like the side of Evil's face, and the other is probably the side of Kamen Rider Liv's face, or Live's face. So, yeah, I mean, so Evil, or Liv is probably going to use the same belt, but I'm curious how it's different for him. Like, if he gets a different attachment, he gets a gun instead of a sword, maybe. But I don't know. The driver is whack. But the suit's fine. I said it was good earlier, but I mean, it's like no, I don't know. I'm like mixed on it. It's like, it's fine. It's suitable. It has a Batman reference because the logo on the chest is a bat in yellow. And then the head is weird because he's based on a bat, obviously, but the bat head is actually meant to be a bat hanging upside down, so it's like the wings are collapsed, and then he just has a big horn. And I've seen so many people are confused, like, is he meant to be a Blade reference? Because this is a show referencing Kamen Riders with designs, so it's not entirely... I won't hold it to people to think that he's based on Kamen Rider Blade, but he's not. He's just randomly has the same head shape as Blade, but he's not based on Blade. He's his own Kamen Rider. So, okay. And then here's just another picture of Evil. Evil doing his thing. I do actually really appreciate that the belt, the teal colors of the belt, are kind of like attached to these lines that run through like the undersuit. I think that's a really nice design aesthetic. That makes the belt feel like, it's part of the suit. Kind of like how the Revice driver is all of the colors of the suit. So I think they're doing a good job of making the belt fit into the suits, in the season overall, with Revice and Vice, and then obviously Evil. So As I said, Evil's debuting tonight, and we don't know who Evil is. There are a few options on the table after watching the latest episode. Now, one thing people have been talking about in the latest episode is apparently we see the stamp he's using, but I missed that in the episode. I didn't see the bat stamp at all in the last episode, so that's just a skill issue for me. But there are a few options we have for who Kamen Rider Evil is. The two big ones that the episode I think is going to be focusing on is Daiji, the brother, and Phoenix dude. I don't actually know his name. If someone could tell me his name, I would appreciate it. But he's the random Phoenix dude that was trying to become Revice in the first episode, and he failed and created the Rex demon. So, yeah, it's gonna be. Well, it's either one of those two. People are saying it could be George because there's a shot with, I think Daiji is holding a gun at George in the next episode, but that's stupid. Why would George be evil? Everyone's saying George is evil. You're like, oh, he's making all this belt stuff. He's gonna be so sus, among us. But why would they make the Kamen Rider fan in the show the bad guy? Right? Like, that seems so weird to me. It's just, he's like, becoming a rider is a different thing. Like, he's probably obviously going to become a rider, but he's not going to be the dude named Kamen Rider Evil. The rider fan becoming the evil Kamen Rider. That's just so dumb to me. I don't understand people's logic in that. They're like, he's going to become evil. I don't get it at all. So I don't know why people think that. They're like, he's so sus. He's making all the Rider stuff. He's making all the stuff because he's a Kamen Rider fan. He literally has CSMs in his room. Why would he be a bad guy? I don't know. So, yes, anyone who says George is bad, please check your privilege. No, I don't know what that means. Yes, my chat is agreeing with me that George isn't evil. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Look, someone said he has riders trapped in his basement in the OP visuals. That's the opening of the show. That's just meant to look pretty in the show. It's not actually what's happening. So yeah, I don't think he's evil. I really don't get it. Now, well, okay, I meant that in two ways. I don't think he's evil, the Kamen Rider, and I also don't think he's evil as in he is a bad person. Why is he called Kamen Rider Evil? So, who do I think evil is? I think it's it's definitely either Daiji or Phoenix Man, 100%. But, I don't think it's them entirely. I think it's we have 69 viewers. I think it's one of their demons. Because we know we're getting Kamen Rider Live to complement Evil. So it's probably going to be another like Revice and Vice where we have the two we have a demon and human partner duo. I'm pretty sure that Evil is the demon counterpart and then Live is going to be the human counterpart. So either Daiji, I think it's going to be Daiji. I feel like the Phoenix dude would be like something else later on. So Daiji's demon, and I'm not the first one to come up with this. I'm not going to say this is my idea, but I've just kind of relaying what I've seen. So Daiji's demon is probably going to be this man, Kamen Rider Evil. But the question I'm wondering is if it's like a separate entity from Evil, or if Evil's a separate entity, so Evil is his separate demon, or if it's possible like Daiji gets possessed by his demon and becomes evil, and then when he's in control, he's Kamen Rider Live, because you can see there's like zippers and stuff on Evil, and theoretically those would unzip, and then we get Kamen Rider Live. So if it's the same person, that would kind of make sense. So, but I don't think, like, when it debuts tonight, if he actually talks, it's probably going to be like a new voice, obviously, like a different voice actor. So, that's cool, I guess. So yeah, that's it for Revice. That's all we have. So, oh yeah, one last thing. Evil's eyes are doing the DreamWorks face. He's or like a big like the Rock kind of like eyebrow thing. He's just kind of. What did you say to me? Right. So, I am curious. What do people? I mean, I've seen a few discussion on it, but what do people think is up with Kamen Rider Evil? It's the dad, please. I don't think it's the dad. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a joke, but I hope it's not the dad because I like the mom and the dad just being a happy mom and dad with the dad YouTuber and the mom who thinks it's crazy but still likes him. Either a new voice or voice modifier. Yeah, ooh, a voice modifier. That'd be real nice. Voice modifiers, cool. I like them. So Reiwa voice modifier return. Did we get one in 01 actually? I don't think we did. I can't think of anyone with a voice modifier because they never did a whole. Who is that Kamen Rider? We always knew. uh, Someone said, I mean, Kamen Rider has a trend with evil dads, but this dad is clearly not evil. He's just there. He's not. Well, no, that's not the dad. I am going with it's Daiji. Daiji's demon, not Daiji himself. His demon. It's either Daiji's demon or um Phoenix guy's demon. They are not. It's not the actual person, but it's one of their person's demons, for sure. I think. So I guess we'll call it there for Kamen Rider Revice. Let's move on very briefly to Ultraman Trigger, and all the images popped up at once. So let's just fix everything. Just look at the thing for a second. We just had an episode yesterday of Trigger too. That's pretty cool. So Ultraman Trigger, I'm actually just gonna use the official images that they give us because I don't get the point. It's like we got they give us official looks. So we are getting Ultraman Trigger's final form. Obviously a reference to Tiga, where Tiga had his glitter Tiga form. Trigger is getting glitter Trigger eternity, so they added a little bit of eternity because I guess it's gonna be around for an eternity because it's very early for a final form debut in Ultraman. So okay, so this is Trigger glitter Trigger eternity. At first I actually really loved this form in the magazine scans because I thought the orange was red, but the orange is actually orange, and I'm actually just kind of mixed on this form now, because the gold looks kind of like weird too. The face is gold now, and it's kind of strange. The as everyone said in the chat, Ultraman Mitsubishi, the car company. If you type that into Google, it's that logo on his chest. And and it a lot of people have been saying that's the worst part of the form. I actually really like the Mitsubishi color timer. I think that's really cool. It looks cool. I like it, or it looks awesome. Honestly, I'm not gonna deny. I think that color timer is awesome. I think the weapon is awesome too. It's just, I don't know. The suit's fine. I'm actually really disappointed because when it looked red in the scans and the face looked silver, I was like, I might like this more than Orb Origin. It looks so cool, and now it's orange, and the gold is weird, and now I'm like, I don't like this more than Orb Origin. So big disappointment. Second image is, I'm not even gonna get rid of this. The first image, it's just gonna be there. Is Ultraman Ribbit, like the sound a frog makes, is gonna be appearing in Ultraman Trigger. His first appearance in a show, a televised Ultraman show, I think, because he didn't even start in an Ultraman show, I think. And it's his first, I think, human form, because it's not a host, it's just him as a human. Apparently, because he's a Malaysian Ultraman originally, this outfit is meant to be his some Malaysian outfit. I don't know the stuff, so I'm not gonna try to explain it. But this is like some kind of outfit from the country that he is from. So I think that's really cool, and I think it's really cool that he's appearing in the show with a human form. I think good for him. Seems like he's gonna be appearing after Glitter Eternity debuts. So we have this image that you could call Glitter Reboot, because you're right, yeah, Glitter Reboot. So reboot and Glitter Eternity. I'm gonna do the Revice pose, I guess. So and yeah, you can see actually it looks better in this image, Glitter Eternity. The other image is not very good for it. And then the last thing is we got an announcement for the third Ultraman, The Absolute Conspiracy. And it announced there's some new dude, Ultraman Regulus. I didn't include him here. He's a cool suit. That's it. But then they announced the second Absolution, Absolute Diablo. And he is going to appear in Trigger. So I don't know if he's going to appear with Reboot, if we're going to see Reboot, and I keep saying it different every single time. I wonder if we're going to see Reboot, and I think Absolute Tartarus is also appearing with Absolute Diablo. So I wonder if they're going to appear with Reboot, because they're all like Absolute Conspiracy characters. Or at least Ultra Galaxy Fight characters, because that's where Reboot debuted with a suit. So they might all appear at the same time in Trigger, I would guess. But I don't know. But Diablo's suit is cool. I like Tartarus better, but this one's definitely cool. So that's it for Trigger. Any thoughts on Trigger? Anyone? Including yesterday's episode too. Yesterday's episode was very cool. Trigger Dark is very cool. Someone asked, is it Diablo or Diavolo? I think it's spelled like, the way they've spelled it is like Dia, so Diabvolo. So it's like Diavolo. So it's like both. It's really weird. Diavolo or Diabolo. Diablo, Diavolo, I don't know, however you want to pronounce. If you put like Ultraman character in the name, I think people will understand who you're talking about, so it's fine. I want to put, there we go, Glittery Butt back. Yeah, Reboot. Maybe Reboot would appear like the end of the episode before Diablo appears. Yeah, it does feel kind of like that last minute thing, like an Ultraman, and then the ending plays, and it's like, next episode, who is the mysterious Ultraman? Actually, one other thing I wanted to mention that I forgot is why is Reboot holding the sparklings like that? Well, I kind of get why, because he's like, he doesn't know what he's doing with that. That's a human Earth device. Presumably he's never really been an Ultra host, so he's probably just confused, but I don't know. It looks weird the way he's holding it, but I'm kind of here for it. It's like when Haruki was using the thing, and he used it as a gun and almost shot Ultraman Z and killed both of them. He's holding this one the wrong way, and maybe it won't work. Probably, I don't know. But No, back to glittery bit. Everyone's saying hello. Hello. I don't know if people are saying hi, but hello. Okay, so my Zenkaiger stuff got messed up too, so I'm gonna fix that temporarily. Zenkaiger is so good. It's so good. His pinky has to pull the trigger to Henshin. Exactly. Ready to pull the trigger with my pinky finger. That's my cover of Revice. Why did I say Revice? I don't know. Okay, whatever. Moving on to the main event, the tokusatsu of 2021-2022. Ultraman, not what? Why did I say Ultraman? Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. I completely forgot what I was talking about. I'm like, this is the best show. What is it? What is it called again? Zenkaiger. We got Zenkaiger scanned. So first up is tonight's episode. Actually, we're gonna be taking a look at. We're gonna be meeting this guy tonight. His name is Hakaiser, and he looks really cool. I mean, that's it. He's a red dude, so I automatically like his design, but he also just looks really great. He's apparently a reference to Ninja Captor, which is, I don't really know much about this, but it's like one of Toei's first things I think they made before Sentai, and then during Sentai they actually would refer to it as a Sentai season, kind of, sort of, every so often. So this is kind of referencing that. Well, it is very clearly referencing that as like the first Sentai, or like a Sentai. So that's really cool. I like that. I mean, I like that idea, but I also think they just made a cool suit with it. So it's like a win-win. So I mean, that's kind of it for Hakaiser himself. Without, or no, apparently, so I have seen a few things. People are saying that he's apparently designed to like to protect the world monsters. He's like, he prioritizes their safety. He doesn't really care about the rangers. And then I think that's kind of like the opposite of Stacy, where he's like, I'm just here to beat you up, Kaito. He's like, Kaito's literally just minding his business, biking down the street, and then Stacy shows up and is like, I'm going to beat your ass. That was the last episode. It was really funny. So he's like the opposite. He's like, the Zenkaiger show up and he's like, oh, hello, and then they heard the monster and he's like, what are you doing? So someone did mention that's the dad inside, right? Yeah, it's probably the dad, because in 2 episodes ago, Ijuride was like, I need to use the dad for something because the mom has disappeared. And then the next episode, we get this thing. So it's like, I wonder what he did with the dad to get this thing. Well, he either did that, either the dad is inside, or he let the dad out to create this, I think. It's one of those options, because there are a few things that say that Hakaiser is made from the parents, or like it was the parents' idea. I think, well, either Hakaiser was the parents' idea, or it was just the canon he's using was the parents' idea. I don't know. The canon was definitely their idea. I don't remember if Hakaiser is included in that or not. But speaking of the canon, oh, hold on, I need to turn this off. Okay, there we go. Speaking of the canon, we got our final weapon device, the Zenryoku cannon. A super chat from Rainbow Calrissian. Hello, thank you. $2 super chat, and he said, Kaito says hello, and then Stacy goes, run them, hands. Stacy just beats Kaito up for no reason, and it's funny, but it's like really sad too. Kaito just wants to. Okay, it just occurred to me, Stacy did that and interrupted Majin's lunch with Yachan, and now I'm angry. So bad, Stacy. So Zenroku Cannon is awesome. I love this thing. So in cannon mode, we've got well, I mean, you can see it. We've got all the Sentai Reds, and Zenkaiger technically not a Sentai Red, but the leader. So all the leaders, I guess. Well, no, because the White Ranger was the leader in Kaku Ranger. Anyway, the red dude who stands in the center. There you go. The person who stands in the center of all the roll calls. You can see all of them here. They're just there. So, I don't know what this means. Someone said the cannon is more like a rider weapon. What is the difference between a rider weapon and a Sentai weapon? Now I'm confused. What what distinguishes a rider weapon from a Sentai weapon? Is it what? Hello? Because this one has Sentai Rangers on it. So I don't know what makes it a rider weapon. But anyways, I think all the reds look really cool on it. I do. This kind of goes for all of Zenkaiger, but I do appreciate that they're including both Lupin Red and Patron and Ichigo on stuff, because they're both Red Rangers of like two separate teams, kind of. So that's great. One thing that does bug me is you can see like the ordering of the stuff. It goes like kind of up and then left and down and then left and up and then left and down. It kind of like follows this like snaking pattern across it. But what that does is it makes Patron Ichigo is first, and then Lupin Red is first, when Lupin Red should be first because he was the first. He was a ranger before Ichigo, so that kind of bugs me on the canon. It's like a really minor nitpick, but yeah. So Hawk Kaiser is going to be debuting with this thing, but it seems like either at the end of this episode or presumably if it's like a two-parter with next episode, Kaito's going to get it. So either way, Hawk Kaiser starts with it, and soon Kaito's going to get it back. Because you can see the parents here in the corner, and they made it. They're like, this is our patented technology. Ichigo is stealing it again. So let's see. I think the next... Oh, here's just... Okay, yeah. So here's him using it again. This is a pretty nice actual image. And then you can see the power source of the Zenroku cannon, or the ability. Sorry, not the power source. The ability is just Stacy's ability, kind of, where Stacy could summon a whole team, or now he just summons one ranger at a time in their powered up mode. The Zenroku cannon is able to summon, I think either like, well, it's able to summon multiple rangers, but it's not all on the same team. It's actually, we have to go back to the previous image, or no, is it on this image? Oh no, not really. So back to this image. You can see that there's like this gear, because Zenkaiger's about gears. There's this gear on the top of the cannon that has all of these symbols on it, and they all pertain to these different ranger categories that are on the gear tlinger. So there's like the Zenkaiger symbol is just like Super Sentai, I think, and then there's like secret power. It includes the Zenkaiger, so secret power, dinosaur power, beast power, Maho Majin power, vehicle power, and then there's like martial arts power, space power, police power, and then there's two others I can't quite remember, but basically all of those different categories. Oh, there's like, oh no, I already got, that was like magic. All of those categories will fall into, or each of the rangers will fall into one of those categories, or each of the teams, sorry, will fall into one of those categories, and then essentially, Kaito or Hakaiser can summon one of each of those categories. So you can see with Hakaiser in this image, if we go back, he's going to be summoning like a whole team of blues and also like a whole team of yellows. The whole team of yellows are like the, oh, that was another one, like sword slashing. So we've got the three ninja teams, and then Shinkenger. So they're all yellows from a sword slashing team. And then above that is all blues, and I think those are all blues from like science teams, I think. So he's basically all, I guess you can either summon like the same color from different teams in the same category, or you can summon, as you can see in the top right, you can summon different colors from the same category, or I don't know. It's kind of confusing. We haven't seen it in action yet, so it's not entirely clear how it works, but it summons rangers. I can tell you that much. And I'm excited to see it in action because I think it looks cool. But there's also some other functionality that I'll get to in a second. Actually, I'll just get to it right now. So there's another version or another form for it called the Zenryoku Eagle, which is just turning it into a jet with Zenkaiger's face on the front. So it's a cool looking jet. I've seen a lot of people call it a Lupat reference, which is, I guess, not entirely false, but it's also, I don't think, entirely accurate. But definitely a cool looking jet in my opinion. And that's really all we know about the Zenryoku canon for now, and the Eagle. But when we got rumors of this thing months ago, like literal months ago, it said everything that was in those rumors has been 100% accurate, with all the reds on the cannon mode, the Eagle mode just being a jet, the big dial with all the categories, that's been proven true. It was in those rumors. And what those rumors also said is that there would be a combined mode with the Zenryoku Eagle with the 4 Kikinoids. So we would have Gaon and Juran would form 2 arms, and then Varun and Majin, best for last, would be the 2 legs. And then it would just be a big, like, crazy combo of all 4 robots and a big jet. And that seems like it's going to be true, because you can see the bottom part of the cannon in this image in the bottom right, or I guess this is the Eagle mode. In the bottom right, you can see that those pieces kind of look like legs, or the beginning of legs. The dial was said to be the chest. That would make the dial the chest. The head was said to have a 45 in the Zenkaiger logo, and you can see that right there in the thing anyway. And then in the toys, which I don't have a picture of here, you could see the Majin's wing clips, or the wings that would I got completely derailed because someone made a funny joke. They said, in like quotes, "What's your favorite part of Zenkai Iglo?" The left leg. I think Majin's the right leg, so oops. But the Eagle has Majin's wing clips, so that pretty much confirms it's going to combine with her wings, and presumably if it's just her and it's her super mode, I think that would be really cool, but it's probably not just her, it's the other 4. So, which is still very cool. And the other thing too is that those rumors said that the Zenryoku canon and Eagle would have sounds, voice clips of all the Kikinoids, and that is not in the toy images they've released. Doesn't say they're gonna make sounds, or doesn't have their voice quotes in it. However, I've speculated like a month or something ago that it could be like this Voltron Legendary Defender toy, which had sounds, and it was basically like if you put in a character in, the sounds would be like that character, like, "Oh, guys, I'm attached," and then start complaining about the others not being attached. And as you did more, it would start doing that. So if you had like black, green, yellow, and blue combined, they would all start yelling at the Red Ranger. Or not the red. I mean, Voltron's basically just Power Rangers. They would start yelling at the red character to combine. And I think that's what this thing is going to do, because the Kikinoids are obviously alive. So it's probably going to be like you attach Majin, then she starts asking like where Juran is to attach. You attach Juron, he starts asking where Gaon is, and then etc. Until they all combine to create the full combo. I think that's what's going to happen because it was rumored there would be Kikinoid voice quotes in this thing. All the other rumors in that listing have proven true, and we don't have any Kikinoid voice quotes yet, so there you go. And if we don't get Kikinoid voice quotes in, I guess I won't need to buy it, because I was actually going to buy it if there were Kikinoid voice quotes, because there's a certain character's voice quotes I would like to have in a toy. So, yeah. So that's the Eagle. And as someone mentioned, the toy actually comes out literally in less than a week. This next week, it's going to come out. So we're both going to be able to see. I mean, like, Bandai will do a demonstration video. They always do for the new toys recently. But also people are just going to have the toy, and then they could figure out if it actually does have the Zenroku Zenkaiger mode and sounds and stuff. It's just weird why they're hiding it, because it's not in these scans. But if the toy comes out next month or next week, people are going to find out about the form whether or not you tell us about it. So I don't know what's the point. Just tell us about it now. It's really weird. I don't know. It's just weird. Whatever. So there's actually one last scan for Zenkaiger that I saved for last. There's a few reasons. It's the best for last because of the bottom right. New outfits for the Zenkaigers and a new outfit for Majin, and she looks really good in it. So good job, Zenkaiger. They really go in with those outfits, and I'm really here for it. I love it. On the left, actually, is interesting too. We can see the rider gears, the other side of the rider gears. I don't think we've ever seen those before. I did want to bring it up because apparently if you collect Sentai gears, those are going to be in they will be magazine pack-ins. So those are going to be the only 3 gears released. There's no other, like, they're not going to make all the other Kamen Riders, and you have to get them from magazines. So there you go if you're interested in those. Also on the same side, on the left side, or like at the top, there's like 2 other gears. Or it's the same gear. It's got 2 different sides to it though. One's obviously Aka Ranger and one's Zenkaiger. And it's the same image on the Zenroku cannon. So I wonder if it's coming with the Zenroku cannon or if it's just a separate thing that happens to use that artwork. I don't really know. But the thing that everyone's been talking about is on the right, Flint turning into Two Kaiser, which is cool, I guess. I don't know what is happening. Originally people were saying it was going to be a body swap episode, so this is actually Zox in Flint's body turning into Two Kaiser, because if you look here, Zox is kind of doing a weird thing that looks like something Flint would do. But I've also heard that it's not a body swap episode, and it's actually just like something the monster did made Zox not want to transform anymore. So then Flint's like, I mean, I know how this works, so I might as well just use it, and then she becomes Two Kaiser. I'm not really sure, but either way, I think it's cool, but it is a little disappointing. I'm like mixed on it in the sense of I would have preferred if she got her own Ranger form. I just think that would have been really cool, and she became a new Ranger on the team, second best female Ranger on the team then automatically. But on the other hand, this is probably just a temporary thing. It's just for the episode she's going to become Two Kaiser, and then at that point they could just make her an actual Ranger like later down the line with her own unique suit. So because I think it would be cooler if she got her own unique suit and that stayed, and then she only became Two Kaiser for an episode, right? I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. So, yeah. Because the suit doesn't even change. It's just the Two Kaiser suit. It's just the proportions are different. A lot of people are like, oh, she doesn't have a skirt, but we're probably operating on Power Rangers Dino Fury logic, where she just doesn't like skirts, so her suit doesn't have a skirt built in. So there you go. The Power Rangers Dino Fury explaining away the greatest mystery ever. So that's great. But I think the most important part of the scans is the all the scans, like not just this image, but like, how do I crop again? Oh, that's not. Oh shoot, that's Trigger. No. There you go. Okay. How do I? Give me a second. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. So yeah, Zenkaiger. What do we think about the Zenroku canon? I mean, that's just what Zenroku canon. What's gonna happen? I think it looks really cool. Both in Eagle mode, I think it looks cooler. It looks like an awesome jet, and then in canon mode, it's also just it's pretty cool canon. And then the powers it has are cool too, I guess. And it looks, yeah, I don't know. It all looks cool. I'm loving Zenkaiger. I'm really looking forward to seeing Zenkaiger trek along in the next upcoming episode. Big mobile phone. That's a pretty good description of the canon. It does just look like a big phone, which is an interesting design choice, but I think it works. Will it work with Super Zenkaiger? Yeah, there is actually a picture. Are you gonna? Oh, I have to move important things, sadly, for it to. What's happening? Hold on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you can see Super Zenkaiger is actually gonna wield it. So that's cool. New Apple device leaked. Very funny. I thought the super form would summon rangers in the super form. I guess too OP. Yeah, that would. I mean, that's what Stacy does now, anyways. So it's like we gave Stacy the version to summon the super rangers. So to keep other characters summoning normal rangers, now we've got this thing. So it's like a win-win, I guess. I'm really just excited for Zenroku Zenkaio, honestly, because that's going to be like Majin's super form, basically. So, so that's actually also on the topic. That's the end for Zenkaiger. That's also the end for all the magazine scans. There's nothing else here. So I did see someone ask earlier, and I did figure I might as well talk about it. If the Kamen Rider Shin Kamen Rider thing, the whole Shin Kamen Rider in general, they had a press conference, and we got to see the first trailer, and then that was it. Well, I mean, the first trailer, and then we got the first trailer. In a sense, it wasn't a trailer, it was just the intro to the original show, but the new actor was singing the song, and obviously the visuals were the new suit, the new bike in 2021 or whenever they filmed it. That's really cool. And then the suit for Shin Kamen Rider looks cool. It just looks like Ichigo to me, but it's just like more edgy and refined, and I think that's good. The lady is a lady in the show. I didn't even know there was like a main female character in the original Kamen Rider, to be completely honest. I will say the red trench coat is really cool. I would like to see certain other Majin characters wear that really cool red trench coat. And then yeah, in the original Kamen Rider, the actor had an injury and they had to stop, or he had to leave the show. And it is funny that, or not funny, I don't want to say it's funny, but it's interesting that this new lead actor is also has or he seems to have been injured filming the movie. So it's like weird cinematic curse parallels that if you're the new Takeshi Hongo, you will be injured filming your movie or show. But I'm excited for the movie. Obviously, if it gets released in America, I'm actually really excited if it gets released in America, because that would be really cool to like review an American in quotes movie, but it's like not American. It's the Kamen Rider movie. That would be really cool. So the movie, I mean, like I'm not really like, oh my god, it's Shin Kamen Rider the movie, because it's like it's so far away. We don't really know anything about it, but I'm excited for it. I'm gonna watch it, obviously. So what do we think of? I guess what do we think of anything in general? Zenkaiger, Ex-Aid, even Shin Kamen Rider, Trigger, Revice, anything at all? Any and all thoughts? Tell me. What do you think? I might go for, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna go for, because I don't really want to go for that much longer, but. Shin Kamen Rider X Kamen Rider Shin 1. I hope they make like a reference to Shin Kamen Rider or Kamen Rider Shin in the Shin Kamen Rider movie. Thoughts about double Futo Pi, or I think it's Futo Detective. I don't know why. Oh, PI, like private investigator. It looks like an anime. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. It's like Double was fine to me, and then this just looks like an anime or Double in the style of an anime. So it's like, I don't know, it's there, it exists, looks cool, I guess. Ano had an Ichigo suit when he got married. Really? I know, I've seen a picture where he wore the suit, and then the new actor looks kind of like him when he wore the suit. So it's clearly like he just tried to make him the new Kamen Rider, which is fair. I respect that, but I didn't know he got married in the Ichigo suit, which is really. See, the reason I'm really asking is because that sounds like something I would try to do in 10 years or something. So. Have I seen Shin Godzilla? I did see Shin Godzilla. I think I liked it. I don't really understand much of what happened, but I didn't hate the movie after I finished it. Any thoughts about Lord Zed in Dino Fury? So I haven't seen Dino Fury past the only parts of Dino Fury I've seen are all the episodes that are on Netflix. I haven't seen the international stuff, and I don't think I will until it just drops on Netflix, because they said they're gonna drop everything else on Netflix in like a week or two. So I'm lazy, so I'm just probably gonna wait for that and then watch that. But I do know about most of the big spoiler stuff from the international stuff. And Dino Fury, I haven't seen any clips, but the suit for Lord Zed in Dino Fury does look really cool. Yes, this is a great question. If Ano got married in the Ichigo suit, what was the bride wearing? Like, so Shin Super Sentai is not going to happen, because Shin Super Sentai, you're looking at it, it's literally Zenkaiger. It's Zenkaiger, Zenkaiser, and Zenkai Red. They're literally Shin Go Ranger. So do I think Zenkai Red? Yes. Do I think Zenkai Red will make a cameo reappearance in the show? I really think he's going to appear again, because in his special, he left and he said something about like, oh, I'm going to go make my own team of Zenkaigers with like human Zenkaigers, and then he left. And then we haven't seen him since. That canonically takes place like before Stacy appears. And I think, I don't know, like it's kind of up in the air whether or not he was real or a dream. But I really feel like he was real and he's going to come back. It just feels like, I don't know, that would be a really interesting setup and payoff. So, like, I think he's going to appear with his team of human Zenkaigers. And it's going to be like the same actors that were the human Zenkaigers. They're going to come back and they're going to be his new team of like Shin Zenkaigers. There you go. His super Zenkaiger team. And they'll all be like human ranger suits. I think that, I don't know. That's kind of like a pipe dream. I don't think they'll do that, but I do think Zenkai Red will at least appear again. CSM Gamer Driver 1, hopefully not for a while, because I'm honestly happy enough with the DX Gashats that I just would prefer to have all of those and then not really have to worry about a Gamer Driver CSM for like a few years. Because I need at least the base CSM Gamer Driver. Whether or not I get all the other Gashats is a question that I probably won't answer ever. I don't know what that means, but thoughts on Kamen Rider Evil's suit? It's all right. Are you late? You are a little late. I'm gonna end soon. I've already talked about everything, so you are a little late. Sorry. Did I see the scans for the new Revice forms? Yes, I did. Yes, Bang Bang Tank. See, it's like if you ask me CSM Gamer Driver or Bang Bang Tank, I would take Bang Bang Tank, because then I just have a complete DX collection of I could get a DX collection of, I almost said Zenkaiger, Ex-Aid Gashats, or a CSM Gamer Driver. It's like I gotta go through all this other Gashat stuff again just to get the one that I'm missing. So, thoughts on Big Chungus? He's epic. He's poggers. Plot twist: Zenkai Red with the human Zenkaigers will be next Super Sentai called Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. Oh, this is a great question. Favorite casual Majin outfit? I have to say, I think it's her little camping outfit from the vacation episode. I'm gonna look a picture so I can have a reference to talk about. I think she looks really great with like the little hat. The hat's really cute, and then the little scarf is also cute, and then the little shorts are like amazing. So definitely that one. I think it was either that one or just when she has a little flower on her head. It's like so simple, but it works so well. But I think it's gonna be the camping outfit for me. How am I doing? I'm doing all right. I would like to finish Rider Potential Saber. So that's where I'm at. I'm like, can I finish this video? But I'm like really bad at finishing videos. So unless it's a Kamen Rider Saber fan edit, I guess. Tennis one is not bad either. I agree. Tennis one's really good. And the retro one is also really great. I'm okay. Look, they're all like the same to me. Like I love all of them. It's just the camping one. I think I love just ever so slightly more. You know. What's the next Sentai you watch after Magi Ranger? It's going to be Deca Ranger, because I'm not going to get into the reason. I'm going to make it a secret unless you just ask me on like Discord or Twitter, because there is like an answer. I just don't feel like saying it here on youtube.com. Thoughts on Spooktober? It do be spooky. Actually, I want to ask the chat, what are you going to dress up as Halloween? Because I don't know what I'm going to dress up as. I've had a few ideas. I might just do an inflatable thing. I'm deciding between getting a group of friends to dress up as Among Us, or dressing up myself as King Shark from the Suicide Squad, or I might buy a pink MMPR morph suit and wear that because Pink Rangers. So that's where I'm at. Maybe I should let you guys decide. I might also just do like a simple cosplay thing. Like I could just wear a doctor's coat and then my gamer driver, and then bam, I'm literally any character from Ex-Aid or something. Or I could get like a pink jacket and then like a red shirt and then some boots and then a skirt. Anyways, um, what do I think my next Ultra will be? So I was gonna make it Gaia because of Orb Origin, but it's actually gonna be Ultraman Max because of the Ultraman ranking video, and I was like, oh, actually this suit looks cool. I'm just gonna watch this show for the suit, and I haven't done that yet, but I will watch it just for the suit, and also because it's short. It's only 39 episodes, so it's kind of like really compared to Gaia being like a normal Kamen Rider Sentai with 52 episodes. It's like, oh, I kind of like this 39 episode thing. I kind of vibe with 39 episodes. That's another thing of why Ex-Aid is so cool, because there's only 40 episodes. Yes, I did say 40 episodes. Let's see. So some people are gonna buy some props from Walmart. Eternal. Have I watched Kamen Ranger? No. Duo Human. Luca from Luca, Alberto from Luca, or a Power Ranger, or an inflatable SpongeBob. Everyone's just saying Amogus. Sento cosplay, just dress up as Kuroto. I mean, I could dress up as Kuroto from the post-credit scene of True Ending. I mean, another ending, but that would be very bad. How much would I pay for a whole season of Kamen Rider X Super Sentai? No money, because most of the movies are not good. So a show would probably be not good as well. Do I think Revice and the next Sentai will collab? I have no idea, because Shirakura said this is the last. Well, no, Shirakura said this would be the last Sentai and Kamen Rider crossover. And while he's definitely lying, they're going to cross over again, at the least, it's probably going to be a while until they cross over again. So the only thing I see happening is either just the toy line switches over, because they do that every year. So we'll probably get a next Sentai Vice stamp, and they'll get their own gimmick with Revice's face on it. Or alternatively, they'll just like appear in a few episodes, but I don't think they're gonna really cross over in a movie. Have I seen Q Ranger? I have seen Q Ranger. Someone said it's my second least favorite, which is it's my fourth favorite, because I do like Q Ranger. It's just all the other Sentai I've seen after that, with the exception of Lupin Ranger, is cooler than Q Ranger in my opinion. So it's not like I don't like Q Ranger. It's just I like other stuff better than Q Ranger. Thoughts on Shirakura? He's like, he made Geo, so it's like I know he's not very good, but then he made Zenkaiger, so like he can be good. So he confuses me. Just got here. Did anything get discussed on if the gun is going to end up becoming a mecha or the key piece to making everyone combine? Yes, I did in fact discuss the rumors we've had for months that are basically confirmed at this point, that we're getting Zenryoku Zenkaiyo with Majin and the lesser Geekanoids combining to create Majin's power-up. Thoughts on the Mogus? It's pretty sus. Wasn't there supposed to be a Loof Hat and Build crossover planned? I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I feel like I've seen something that said that, but I also don't really remember anything that made that. But it does feel like something that would have happened, because Build has 2 full bottles, and he could have had like a Lupin Ranger and a Pato Ranger things, that, or 2 bottles for the 2 teams, and then it could have formed. I don't know. That seemed like a match made in heaven. That you had the Kamen Rider that mixes 2 things, and then the 2-in-1 Sentai team, but it never happened. But we did get full bottles for. I think we got a Super Sentai and a Kamen Rider full bottle, and then together they made like superhero time in the build driver. Any prediction on how the Revice power-up is going to work? I think he will get a stamp, and then he scans the stamp, and then he puts the stamp in the belt, and then he uses that, and that's it. That's literally, I don't know. I don't really think about the Revice toy line, so I don't. That's the extent of what I think will happen. Well, actually, we also know that there's the stamp piece can come off, so we're probably gonna get another one that doesn't do anything. It's just like an extra pretty visual or something. So, will we get more Geo movies or specials? No. No more. I actually personally called Shirakura, and I asked, please no more Geo specials, and that's why he's working on Zenkaiger now, because he quit Geo. However, he won't return my calls to add Ryu Kaiser into Zenkaiger, and that makes me a little bit disappointed. That's a joke. Thoughts on Shin Kamen Rider trailer? It's cool. Actually, one thing I forgot, I did talk about that earlier, or like a couple of minutes ago, but actually one thing I did forget to mention is the hair on the helmet really bothers me. Like it's so tiny, but it's like so noticeable to me, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's just hair on the helmets. Because it's the dude's actual hair. I don't know. It's like, maybe because I have short hair, so there's no way that I put on a helmet and you'd ever see my hair. But the fact he can put on a helmet and you can see his locks of hair makes me like, maybe this is just jealousy. I'm like, okay, yeah, no need to flex your hair like that, dude. Just tuck it in the helmet, all right? Anyways, what's my favorite Ultraman opening? Orb. There you go. I mean, if it was in the original Kamen Rider, it still bugs me from the original Kamen Rider. It's like, okay, I can see your hair there. You don't need to. It's like, I can see it. Any prediction for Dino Fury Season 2? I think that Simon Bennett himself will appear in the show. He'll just walk in and he'll become Ryusel Brown, and then he'll defeat everyone. So there you go. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. I said the Orb opening. Obviously, I meant the Trigger opening is my favorite Ultraman opening because it's so cool. I'm not gonna sing it, but you know what I mean. It's like really cool. And then, the visuals are cool when he's ready to pull the trigger and stuff. What's my favorite Kamen Rider opening? Ex-Aid. I've been saying for a while it's either like Be the One, Anything Goes. I've kind of said because it's really good. But after rewatching Ex-Aid, it's 100% Ex-Aid. Like the songs are really cool, but also the visuals are just so cool, and the way they update as the show goes on, so cool. So yeah, it's Ex-Aid for sure. And then I know someone's gonna ask Super Sentai, what's my favorite opening, and it's Zenkaiger for similar reasons. The song is very cool, but the visuals, certain parts of the visuals are also very cool. So, do I think Waku Saber will be adapted as a Power Rangers season? No. Face reveal when? I ordered it from Amazon, my face. It hasn't arrived yet though, so unfortunately there is no face reveal yet because I don't have a face to reveal. Just think, Majin has no hair. I don't want to think about that because her ponytail is really pretty, so let's not think about that. Thoughts on DN? No. I like the Ghost opening. I personally don't really like the Ghost opening. I just think it's like kind of boring. I don't know. Thoughts on ending the stream? I think I'll do that in like 4 minutes. We're gonna hit the 2-hour mark, and then I'll end it, I think, because that's really cool. 2-hour live stream. Love to see it. It's weird. I feel like I went on shorter for this live stream. Usually I go on for like forever talking about stuff, but this time I crammed in Revice and Zenkaiger, Saber, Shin Kamen Rider a bit, Ex-Aid at the beginning, even Trigger, and it all fit in this thing. I don't know how I did that. Have I watched the Vulcan and Valkyrie special yet? I haven't. I don't know when I'm gonna watch it. I know it's subtitled, but um, it's nothing entirely to do with the fact I don't like Metsubo Jinrai. It's just the fact that there are other movies, like there's a bunch of Sentai movies I've wanted to talk about and watch and review for like months, but I haven't done that at all, and it makes me really sad. Um, so I'm probably gonna do all of those, and then I'll think about doing Vulcan and Valkyrie. So maybe it is partly Metsubo Jinrai, just a fact. I know it won't be that good. Um, do I think the Zenkaigers will fight the Gokaigers? 100%. I expect, like, I'm not even joking with this. I expect that when we get close to 10 Gokaiger, they're gonna have an episode where the Zenkaigers use the Gokaiger gear, and Stacy uses the his Gokaiger gear, and maybe we'll have the Gokaigers appear, maybe not. But I'm very sure they're saving those gears for like a 10 Gokaiger tie-in episode. What original Toku would I consider seeing first? I don't know what you mean by original Toku, but I'm not sure if High School Heroes counts. If it doesn't, maybe I don't know. There's a lot of good ones I've kind of been thinking about for a while, like what Garo, that one with Sogo in a bike or in a wheelchair. There's the Gaga one. Would I play Mighty Action X on stream? Yes, I just don't have it, and I haven't really gotten around to emulating it. So, but I would definitely play it. Maybe I'll play it this month for the anniversary celebration. Actually, I'm gonna write that down. Where's my thing? Give me a second. Okay, there we go. Who suggested that? Metal Man Gaming. Thank you for suggesting that. Yeah, I'll consider it. Maybe not on stream, but like in a video. Thoughts on the Mario movie cast? It's a Chris Pratt, a Mario, and Jack Black Bowser. It's crazy, weird casting, but I don't know. I'm kind of here to see like the train wreck the movie will be. Oh, I saw something, but oh, there we go. We hit 2 hours. So that was a pull, guys. I actually was just waiting until we hit 2 hours. So any last questions? Throw them in the chat, and then I'll see if I can answer them. And then I'm just gonna disappear. Nunu. Theory: Revice is a 1 and 2 riders to celebrate Ex-Aid's 5th anniversary. I think that's a stretch. So new video when? That's a great question. Toku series for Smash 1, they gotta add Mighty in Smash from Mighty Action hit game Mighty Action X. He'd fit right in. Would I like to see a Majin Kaiser? Absolutely. I would pay money if that was like on the table. I would pay money for that to happen. Thoughts on the color blue? It's a color who works very well with the color red. Do I have any Figure Eye stuff? I don't. Yeah, I just don't. I've been close to buying the Ex-Aid and Deno ones, but I never got around to it. If they make a Saber one, maybe I'll buy that. But I don't know. Crispy bacon or chewy bacon? Crispy bacon. So when are we petitioning Majin for Smash? I'll get back to you on that. That's a really great idea. Revice versus Ex-Aid level 20 would be cool. I mean, that would be unfair for Revice because Ex-Aid level 20 is just that much cooler. Okay, here's a great question to leave off on. When are you going to marry Majin? See, the thing is, I already am. So with that, I'm gonna leave off there. So thank you guys for coming out to the live stream, the pseudo Ex-Aid 5th anniversary stream / let's just talk about all the stuff that's happened as I usually do in a live stream. As usual, actually, if you want to ask me more questions, or I have a Discord server and I have a Q&A channel in the server, so you can just ask a question there and I can just talk. I can answer the question there, and then also follow me on Twitter for more me talking about Ex-Aid stuff. And then one other thing. Oh yeah, Patreon. $2 Patreon. You can see Saber Potential when I finally finish that. You'll get to see the Ex-Aid review, Ex-Aid Potential, all the other Ex-Aid videos I have planned. You can see that when I'm done with those. You get to see those early on Patreon for just $2. So there you go. And then yeah, I hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching.